今回はサイドクエストを中心にやっていきます。
I'll be direct. We've had our eye on you for some time. Practically a minute all told. And I can tell you're the very thing we're looking for. You possess the sort of rugged, nonconformist, individualist nature that our listeners identify with. Or believe they do anyway. From the meekest flunky to the most milquetoast myrmidon, why, friend, you're everything they want to be. There's two things I desperately require. Realism, authenticity. Sure, some might say they're the same thing, but I use both to highlight emphatic weight. We're working on a brand new set of advertisements and need your exact kind of distinct perspective. He's yesterday's news. Sure, we'll keep playing those old ads. They got a nostalgic appeal for the older set, but his shtick is fraudulent, fabricated, worst yet, contrived. You've got the stuff that can't be faked. Our listeners are sophisticated. They can see right through anything less than 110% genuine. Step inside. I'll introduce you to our main creative type, Mitt Tarkenton. Why, the things he does with words you wouldn't believe. He'll tell you how we do things, how we sell product. Then you provide your expertise, lend your maverick perspective to help him come up with how. All it requires is you be yourself, unabashedly. Then get paid for it. Head into our recording facility when you're ready. Mitt will be in one of the studios. I'll be right along.
Learn to negotiate.
このクエストは会話だけでクリアできるので、サクッと終わらせます。
In the midst of composing my latest product-oriented drama. Here for a recording session? Now back.
Yes? Can I help you? You appear like a rugged sort. Let me guess. Thessaly sent you.
That I did. This is Mitt Tarkington, advertising copywriter extraordinaire. Mitt, this is our maverick outsider. They've heard the pitch and agreed.
Charmed. Yes, well, dive right in, shall we? To begin, allow me to share a bit on how we shape ideas. Part the veil about this magical art we call advertising. We're selling dreams of a better life, a better you, connection and ease from aches, sorrows, and worry. The product is immaterial. We do have one. I need to look it up, though. A little background first to frame your thinking. There are 4 personality types we appeal to when writing advertisement copy.
I'm like you.
I'm who you want to be.
I, who have cultivated a persona as a sarcastic doubter, am not normally into things, so you really ought to listen to me about this.
And I just hate that thing that never happens, yet absolutely could.
Any other general questions before we get started?
Somehow all of them, apparently.
Even the most buttoned-down rule follower imagines themselves a rebel in some way.
All right. I'll ask a few questions about your singular way of looking at things, then translate your unique perspective into lines for the ad. Now, first question. How can we best understand those like you? Any insight on your kind of unique perspective? All right. Now, I'll reinterpret your response into a line for the ad. Something like, calling you, every people of the great masses. Next question. How do we best illustrate credibility? Say, through something you know, or hate. Right. Maybe everyone knows you know your stuff because you tell them constantly. What's an aspirational goal for those who identify with you? Okay, perfect, perfect. How about your needs are different than everyone else's? Last question. What do you desire most out of life? And I should mention we have a little leeway to fine-tune the product offering. Have just the thing. Now available in Hearty Eater Jumbo size. 5 pounds with an attachable feed bag.
Yes. Suppose you might need to hear it assembled to make sense of it all. Just a moment while we put it together. I can already hear it in my head, and it is perfect. All right, that's a wrap. Roll the assembly. Fine work, everyone. Take a good listen.
Calling you, every people of the great masses. Everyone knows you know your stuff. Because you tell them. Constantly. Your needs are different than everyone else's. That's why we've updated our premier cyst rinds just for you. Anti-Cleo and Pal's deep-fried Cysty Bits. Now available in Hearty Eater Jumbo size. 5 pounds with an attachable feed bag.
では船に戻って仲間クエストを進めていきます。
Commander, over here.
イネズのクエストはとりあえず受けるだけです。
Chat with you about the cartridge that courier gave us. Ain't heard from Ortiz in, might well have been a year at this point. That's how it goes when you've fallen behind and the others got no choice but to keep moving. If he's spending his hard-earned bits to contact me now, there must be a real good reason. Would you watch the message with me? Suppose I am. He's a good friend of mine, or at least he was. I missed him. But I weren't under any presumptions that our friendship would last the moment our unit was dissolved, or we otherwise parted ways. If something's wrong, I ain't in any position to fix it. True. Thanks, Commander. Would you do the honors and get it going?
Inez, it's Ortiz. Look, I ain't got long. Neither for this message nor for life. I made a mistake. I signed up to get grafted, but it's gone wrong. Should have known when I got to the lab that something was off. It was a secret, they said. We couldn't tell no one. And now my blood's infected and I'm as good as dead. Well, I just wanted to be like you. Throw myself at the problem, wrestle it down. But I should have listened when they told me about how your graft hurt you. How it failed you. I should have reached out sooner. Maybe things would have been different. Please, find that lab on Cloister. It's in an ice cave, but I ain't sure where exactly. They hit it good. Whatever you do, Inez, stop them. Don't let them do this to anyone else. Please.
Commander, I ain't sure what to make of Ortiz's message. He's dying. If it's as he says, I ain't got a choice. I gotta find that lab and put a stop to things. Will you help me? Thank you, Commander. Now we just need to find those ice caves on Cloister. We keep our lamps lit, we ought to find the lab without much of a fuss. I hope.
他の仲間にも少し話しかけてみました。
Commander, a moment of your time, if you would. Commander, I'm glad I managed to intercept you before we left. There's something of utmost importance I wish to discuss. Relax, Commander. You are not under my authority to judge. Though if you were, that phrase alone would have certainly seen you hauled off to mental refreshment. I received a message from a close friend of mine, Virgil. He was my co-protege under the Supreme Arbiter. His message claimed he had information relevant to the Supreme Arbiter's death. He wishes to meet with me at the Vox Relay on Paradise Island. You asked before, and I did not mention it. But with Virgil's message, I now must warn you. Our greatest suspect in the Supreme Arbiter's murder is the Protectorate's consul. Our mentor always disdained him thoroughly, and he our mentor. If anyone would have had reason to slay her, it would have been him. But we have needed evidence. Evidence that I believe Virgil now possesses. I would gladly give my life for his without hesitation, and he for mine. We are brothers beyond blood. It has been some time since the two of us last crossed paths, but little shall have changed between us. Of this, I have no doubt. If there is one person throughout all of Arcadia who I can presently trust, it is Virgil. He too seeks the perpetrator of the Supreme Arbiter's death, and he too supports the Sovereign over all else. And that's without mentioning our lifelong friendship. It was actually his suggestion we divide and conquer. As our operational philosophies differ ever so slightly, this seemed a good plan. Virgil often prefers to watch rather than act, and was often lenient with sentencing where I was not. This behavior was often criticized by the Supreme Arbiter, but there have been occasional rare instances where treating a subject with mercy ultimately resulted in better behavior. It is a novel, albeit strange, philosophy. Very good. I hope we shall see him at your earliest convenience. I feel this shall most certainly set our investigation into motion.
I want to defeat the Protectorate as much as the next rational sentient being. But I'm not sure it's worth allying with the corporatists. You're quite curious. I'm unsure if you're a mercurial contrarian, corporate stooge, or possess some hidden strategy. I suppose I might become addicted to their overly sweetened foodstuffs. If that happens, you have my permission to put me down, dear. Whatever's on your mind. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. Information free of context can be off-putting, confusing, dangerous even, if misjudged. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. May all our endeavors yield expected results.
There, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly in the hopes that you will comply with his request and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to sentinels or the consul.
His loss. I heard Auntie's in the market for a big, dumb, winsome bodyguard. He'd be paid handsomely in Spratwurst and backhanded compliments.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the console.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal.
I'm somewhat embarrassed to acknowledge that, in my haste to see Virgil, I seem to have led us into a trap. Though ironically, it appears Virgil has been caught as well.
This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the consul's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other Arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious agenda would allow that.
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the consul's summons.
Come now, do you expect me to believe that? Not only are you not in shackles, but you're also still alive. I can't imagine Arbiter Rao would have allowed that willingly.
That's right. It's filled with emulsified plasma. And it's not visible except under colorized light. Truly nefarious technology.
Oh, keep back! It's good that I'm not a more headstrong sentinel, lest this situation have devolved into violence and killed us all. I shall waylay your arrest.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him, his master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties, after I apprehended you.
This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to Arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved Consul. But you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity, intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this Sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. If you had not interrupted me, I would have committed a terrible injustice upon my brethren. If I am to be punished for my failing, I will suffer the consequences head high. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. I do. It's important to follow whatever leads we can if we wish to find the truth. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend.
それではオキュラス資料整理室へ移動します。
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. These security measures should not be operational. The station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully.
中では少しだけ戦闘がありますが、基本的に会話だけで進めていくことになります。
Well, no one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops, lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else is here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. Reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place.
I shall not say your execution!
このロボットも一体だけなので楽に倒せます。
Anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location. I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden. Ah, I think I've spotted it. Look there at the valve beside the sickly yellow pipe. There behind the room's main pillar.
Passcode この先に人がいるので、会話して今回は終わります。
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it. Oh! Wait. Oh, no.
Stay whatever fool words you ready in your defense, for they shall avail you not. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the sovereign. For these crimes... Wait. I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause... whatever this is. Despite his faults, The Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. Well, I'm surprised too. This used to be second nature. Now I'm nothing.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
As much as I prefer not to admit it, you may be right. Whoever hired him must not have known about his addled mind. They were moving quickly, desperately.
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. You have my trust. But if I am to remain loyal to my morals, I must be convinced. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. It is no mere technicality. It is law. How can I be trusted to maintain my role if I choose to uphold some of the sovereign's laws while ignoring others? Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected and is thus not afforded such a luxury. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. A hyperbolic example. Although I suppose if it happened repeatedly, the punishment would be identical. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you, Without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal. I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. It absolutely does not. I think you just have alternative luck. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. My role does not allow for mercy. I am supposed to uphold the Protectorate's laws. How can I claim thus if I allowed a traitor to go free? Objectively to whom? Damn it! Forget this. Forget it all. I can't allow any specter of doubt to creep into my decisions. Let us list this incident as a fluke and move on. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
今回はここまでにします。